guys, so I'm here with Mark from Brutal Beauties, and we're just wrapped up a pretty intense, like 4 hours I think we were sort of nearly shooting there, good
Yeah.
3-4 hours.
At least 3 or so.
How do you think you survived?
By your graces of being nice to me. It's about the only reason I survived.
Do you think my scissors were stronger than last year?
Yeah, I don't know if it's your scissors are stronger or you just actually squeezed harder. Because it is the second time. The first time you meet someone, it's usually they go a little slower because they don't want to. And once you know what somebody can take, then you can squeeze them harder.
Yes, it's a bit like whenever I do sessions with guys, you kind of you can tell like the first time you sort of maybe are sort of gauging someone's the intensity that I can take, but the second time maybe they've sort of relaxed a bit more, and you can maybe push the limit a wee bit because you're more comfortable with each other.
But definitely a lot stronger than I expected. Than I remembered. I think you really did go way too nice on me last time.
Yes.
Which is kind of fun. But guys, definitely very strong. You want someone who can squeeze, as we say, one of those 10%ers. That's us producers' word for, girls who can actually squeeze. We use that.
Thanks.
So if you hear us say 10, one of the 10%ers, that means she can squeeze. Go see her. Go see this one. If you get a chance, seriously, go see her.
Right, enough about me.
If you get a chance, come see me too.
What have you been up to then this year, or what's kind of in the pipeline for your store? You're kind of back into shooting in a big way. You kind of took a break for a wee while, so you had what's kind of up and coming for Brutal Beauties?
Yeah, just a lot of the same old stuff, but I'm just shooting a lot more now. I'm finally getting back into it slowly after I did take some time off just to relax. Once you take beatings for too many years, you can't really, you need a little bit of a break.
No, that's true. I hear that from quite a lot of the producers that I do. And, how do you think your health actually, how do you think it fares up with shooting so much? Is there a certain way that you schedule shoots? Do you schedule shoots as in do you take a break in between them, or do you sometimes just do a shoot and then the next day you can do a shoot, or what's your ideal kind of way?
I'd rather wait at least once a week, once every couple of weeks nowadays that I'm getting older and I can't handle it like I used to 10, 15 years ago.
Yes.
I think a lot of the guys who have done it for 10, 15 years will tell you the same thing. We can't take it like we used to. We can take it in spurts. We're not as good as we once was, but we're as good once as we ever was. Kind of like that
yes.
song. We can handle it, but it takes a lot more, and you need some rest. It's like I just shot Monday, and now I'm here. It's Wednesday shooting with you, and it wasn't easy.
So you did well then.
Yeah, it would have been a little easier if I hadn't shot Monday, but still, with the way you squeeze and stuff, it's never easy.
Yes, I think it was Carrie Spectrum that you filmed with.
Good old
Both
Carrie.
of us give you a good beating there.
Yeah, it's been nice to meet new girls now. Now that I'm getting back out there and meeting some of the girls that I never had a chance to work with years ago, and it's just nice to be back out there and enjoy seeing all the girls again. Especially with you traveling through all the different girls that travel through on a monthly basis, and traveling around down to see Tilly in DC, and all these other people that I've been associating with again. It's nice. It's a nice little. I think I've learned a lot and took some time off and learned to shut my mouth a little more.
Yes, and especially too because the so-called kind of fetish or sex industry or whatever you like to call it, it's kind of session wrestling industry. It's kind of it's a tough time at the minute, kind of, isn't it? With producers and the likes of, we've got plagiarism and videos that go up on the likes of Pornhub, and then we also have new laws that have kind of been introduced as well, because some of the girls are being curtailed as to where they can advertise certain.
No, that's more the sex worker angle than it is the fetish. We're fetish, and I guess technically we're fetish porn.
Yeah.
We know why guys buy our videos, but we're not proud of really the sex worker industry like that, where that part's not going to affect us so much.
Do you think that there's more of a future then for fetish stuff because of the other being more curtailed, or do you see?
I think so, because I think some girls could find out it's a lot safer to work in this industry than it is to worry about getting guys to want to have sex. There's a lot more producers out there that are willing to pay decent money for you to come do this type of stuff and at least be safe, because we do care about the women. We want women to be safe no matter who they are. Whether they're on Twitter calling themselves whores or whatever they want to call themselves, sex workers, they've got so many different classifications for themselves. It's we all got to support them.
Yes.
We're all part of the same industry. It kind of affects us all in a certain way.
Yes, it's all kind of like a personal kind of service that you offer, so you can't necessarily say that that we are different in certain aspects, but you can't say the two don't overlap.
Yeah, I mean they do, but we just haven't been hit by it yet. I mean, SessionGirls.com and WB270.com hasn't. We're not out there promoting sex work, because there's nobody on there that's a hooker, as you would say.
Yes.
I mean, you girls offer fetish stuff. You don't show up, looking for any sexual anything that's not included and stuff. A lot of the girls are the same way. The ones that are getting hit are the ones that will include that kind of stuff. And
yes.
Don't ever ask me my opinion. You know me. I'll piss too many people off. I fall off both sides of that fence. It's like I can see one argument, I can see the other. So it's
I'm kind of the same.
I always float in the middle somewhere, which makes a little too many people aggravated.
Yes. And what do you find then kind of works for your site the most? Then what kind of angle have you taken then as to what are you producing, and what kind of videos do you think your guys like the most? Like, what is it that sells your videos?
I always sold me just getting my ass kicked. Being the idiot on Twitter that I am, like poking at you to have you come here and really squeeze the shit out of me and make me panic a little bit that's when I'm at my best. I think it's when a lot of producers, everybody's got their little niche. For me, it's being that asshole. I've learned to tone it down where I'm not looked at in the same light as I was, maybe a year and a half ago.
Do you ever think to yourself though, like, I need to wind it in a bit and not be so gobby on Twitter, or have you ever got yourself in big trouble?
No, because it helps. I don't think a lot of women realize how much it helps us guys producers to throw ourselves into little wars with people, to get our names out there. We don't have boobs and legs that people want to look at like you girls do, that we need to stick ourselves out there a little further than the girls do. And sometimes it comes back to bite us in the ass because we'll say the wrong thing.
Yeah.
We'll go a little too far when we're not thinking about it. But I think I've learned to think before I type.
Yes.
Which would be the key to all producers, is honestly just think before you type.
Do you think that you have friends that are producers or not, or would you say it's quite a, because you kind of said about earlier on, we were talking in general, and you were saying about like the guys nearly have it harder than the girls, because there's these like mini wars between some of the producers, whereas the girls are more kind of supportive of each other.
It's the girls being supportive of each other, because it's, a fact of things is, you get mad at another female in this industry, you don't call her out by name. You pretty much go on Twitter as a female model in this industry and oh, I can't believe this girl screwed me over, I can't believe she did that. Someone asks you who did it, and it's, oh, DM me, I'll give you the info. I piss you off, and you're right, at Brutal Beauties is a friggin' idiot. I can't stand at Brutal Beauties did this to me, or at an idiot who wants to run his mouth, because I'm friends with a few of them out there that have run their mouth stupid lately, and they, a lot of them need to learn to shut up at times. Take it from the idiot who's done it 1,000 times. Learn, as The Rock says, know your role and shut your mouth. In this industry, we all have to know when to shut our mouths, and picking on women because you've got a personal problem with them, their boyfriends and other stuff, absolutely makes no sense. It's cover your own ass, look for your own business, and show everybody respect, because we all deserve it. It's a tough industry. Like you said, it's starting to get hit a lot harder. If we all don't stick together and we all stick to our separate little cliques that we all have, this industry is going to fall apart, because there is no structure to it to begin with.
Yes.
It's a big free-for-all. My friend used to call it the Wild West. And that's almost what it seems like, is everybody's just out there taking shots at everybody, and nobody seems to care or want to pull together. They want to pull together now because their pockets have been affected.
Yes.
A lot of the sex workers are now, they can't, they're not making their money.
Yes.
And that's the only reason people want to pull together at this point, not for the sake of the industry or the sake of themselves or anybody else. It's the biggest greed industry out. Everybody just wants what's theirs, and there's very few like you that are actually a very nice, genuine person that wants to know more about the industry. Most of these girls don't care. It's give me.
Well, what would be your advice to, obviously you were saying you get a lot of guys emailing you all the time asking things like, you were tapping all the time in that video like, girl really can't squeeze, or things that you were panicking, was this real? So guys obviously like to ask you for advice. If a guy was booking, say, a session, maybe he's never done a session before, and he just maybe looks to you for advice, like, what would be your advice to someone that is looking to hand over hard-earned cash for a session?
To ask questions and get what you want. If the girl's not willing to answer questions, especially if you tell them it's your first time, which a lot of times it's hard for any girl to believe any of these guys, because those emails they send you are usually half BS anyway. We all know that, and these guys take too many emails. They want to ask, in other ones, don't ask 50 questions in 50 emails. Ask all your questions in one shot. I know in a model they used to say if we can't get it done in 3 to 4 emails, it's not worth going on with the stuff because I'm not going to give you my time for free.
Yes.
And I don't think these guys realize how much they're not the only one. You can't answer. He's mad because you can't answer his email, but he doesn't realize you're trying to answer 35 emails the same type as his.
Yes.
And these guys just don't. They got to take. It's just, I guess, just ask the questions. If the girl's going to answer the questions, then it's somebody you want to go with. Make sure you get what you want. Know what you want before you go to a session and spend hundreds of dollars on the stuff. Because it's, buy a video or two, not just from me, but buy from the girl. Most of the girls have stores themselves. You have your own store. The guys could go to your store, buy a video, and see exactly what you like before they go. Then they can ask, was that real? Did you really knock that guy out? Will you do that if I ask? Because they got to. A lot of these guys don't realize every girl's different in a session. Some girls will knock you out cold. They don't care. Some girls will absolutely not do it. Some will face it in a session. Some won't.
Yeah.
I mean, they'll do it in videos and then they won't do it in sessions. There's a lot of rules that new guys don't understand with stuff, and then they get mad when it's, well, you face that mark in a video. Why won't you face it me in a session? And it's, well, I know him. He's not trying to do anything stupid. It's maybe if I knew you, but it's hard to, how do you tell them, well, if I know you, come back a few times. You look like you're selling yourself. You can't.
No, it's true. I wouldn't take a session unless I had pre-discussed with someone exactly what they want, and it's like, it would be like taking money for a session or deposit and the person turning up and being £300 a month competitive. It's just, not, you have to sort of know what you feel comfortable with and what you offer yourself.
No, and a lot of girls don't ask enough questions because then they're not giving the guys what they want. And there's too many bad reviews coming out there because of communication. And that's really what it is there is no communication. There's no, like I said, there's no structure to this industry that makes anybody follow any even remote set of rules that would make things work a lot better. It just depends on the mood you wake up in. You have a bad night with your man, you wake up the next morning, you're pissed off and you take it out on a client that's sending you an email that, just in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah.
And these guys just don't get that every day can be totally different. You got to understand the stuff, and guys should look into it. I look into shoots. I'll look you up on your site. I'll look up different videos. I'll ask other producers. I'll ask Scissor Foxes, how good was she squeezing? I'll ask certain stuff like that from these guys I trust and respect. And they'll give me the answers I want. You're gonna get fucked up. Jay Fox will tell me that stuff in a second. He'll be like, "Oh, she's gonna squeeze the hell out of you. Have fun." But that's why some of the guys are nice. There's other producers who won't tell you anything.
Yeah.
They don't even want to. They'll be mad that I'm shooting with you because they just shot with you.
Yeah.
And then it's just weird industry. If these guys really knew everything that went on behind the scenes, we could sit here for hours talking about this.
It's not just as airy-fairy as people think.
It's not. It's nothing like just walk in, have some fun, sit here, and enjoy sitting next to a beautiful woman for a while. It's everything's a lot different.
So you're saying it's not fun then, getting squeezed for 3 hours?
It's a blast, but there's a lot of work involved in worrying about your camera guys and your lights, and is this going to look good? Am I getting it? Did I do too much of this already? What am I in the right spot? It's not like a session where you can just relax for an hour and enjoy it. We have to make money off this. We have to make sure it comes out the way we want because we're paying good money too to get what we want.
No, that's true. I'd say shoots are completely different from sessions, probably.
Another thing, they don't get to shoots and sessions are completely different entities. Kind of like a lot of the new girls that come in that try to charge the same. It's the same thing as a session. I'll call it. It's like me shooting and a session, 2 different
things.
Another one of those things. It's like research, write a book.
Yeah.
2 of us should just get together because you can pull the info out of me better than most. Unless I'm on Twitter pissing people off because I just don't say it right on there.
Yeah.
It's hard to keep your mouth shut in this industry. We all want to get along with the women. We don't want to piss you off, but there's just times that it's like, we can't hold our tongue, and no producer should.
Yeah.
Nobody should. This is our business. You don't dictate what happens in my business. I don't dictate what happens in yours. I should be doing my own thing and what my fans want to see, what I want to see, what I think's going to work, not what the girls tell me is going to work, because that just doesn't.
Yes. No, we need to all learn to stay grounded.
Communicate. It's not easy, but it's nice to find somebody who actually can communicate, that don't mind taking the time to send an email or two and talk to people and learn, this is what I want to talk before the video, because I'm one of the worst. I walk in and I just fucking squeeze me. I don't come in with notes, and unless I'm doing a really big shoot, it's not like I want this, I want this, I want this. I just come in and wing it because it's worked for. When I plan it, it don't work. When I wing it, the videos come out better.
Okay. Well, on that note, we'll leave it there, guys, and thanks for watching. You can catch all the clips today that I filmed with Mark on
Brutal Beauties Wrestling. Clips for sale.
Don't be shy.
Clips for sale, store number 46044.
There you go. So, thanks for watching,
Please
guys.
go buy them.